Uh, Dear Mr. Verma, dear Mr. Mahendru, Shiny, dear friends. Well, I'm very happy to be here. I think it's wonderful. They had delayed by a few minutes for me to come in so that I could watch the dance. Very happy to see how beautifully each of these teams performed. I think each one of you are wonderful. And FCI, of course, had the advantage of having young people because we keep recruiting year after year. Last year, I myself interviewed 400 and recruited 80 managers. So wherever I go, to whichever go down, I find many of our youngsters there. So I would personally feel that it was an unfair competition but I absolutely loved people. I myself am nowhere young, but I loved the way that you guys danced. I don't think in the wildest of my imagination I would be able to do anything that I think except for ONGC, which was also slightly young. All others were brilliant. I think given a chance, from next time I would say that you should have below 30 and above 30, or below 40, above 40. This is completely unfair to pit people who have not touched their 30 with people who have kids who are 30. It's not fair at all. Right? So, of course, I wouldn't like my words to influence the judges because yesterday my ED personnel was here. She's a great colleague of mine. And she repeated it 3 times. It doesn't matter who wins, first, second or third, doesn't matter. And I was asking her, madam, what's your problem? Why did you repeat that so many times? She told, you have no idea how much this victory is for many of these PSUs, right? That's why she kept playing. Today she called me from Delhi and told, I hope there is no controversy. That's why when I walked in yesterday, I called both the judges and told them very clearly, don't even talk to anyone. I hope that at least they gave you water and things like that, because I told no one will go anywhere near you. Because if it is done under my leadership, no one shall point a finger at us. Right? So whatever has happened earlier, okay, last year something happened, it seems we only lost, it seems, and then we only made a fuss. I told, how could we do that when we were the host and we lose? According to me, host should not even participate. Forget winning or losing. My own kid went to represent India in an international moot court competition. He studies in a national law school. And I was seeing that. He was in Boston. Of course, he lost to the Harvard Law School. But when the competition was going on, none of these colleges, top colleges in the world, had their names announced. All of them were given dummy names. So maybe next time, we won't even give the names as to who's coming in. Everybody will have to take a chit. Dummy name will come in. Alpha, beta, gamma, whatever. Some names, and come on, yeah, there is so much of corruption and nepotism and favoritism in this country. Should we go to that level that we do that in a competition like this? This corruption has walked in and eaten the vitals of this country in every sphere. Today, when my dear friend who spoke from Air India, when he told that, I'm not even sure whether we'll be there next year, I wanted to tell him that when I joined, because as you know, I'm not an FCI guy, I'm an IAS officer. I joined here 3 years back. When I joined, they told the same thing, that FCA is going to be disbanded. Now, in fact, the Secretary of Pondicherry just called me up to tell me that they want to get back FCA because my GM Tamil Nadu is also here, because Pondicherry is one of the states where we do not supply ration. It is through the direct benefit system, DBT. Now they want us back. So I'm sure that Air India will come next year also. Please please don't worry. Please don't worry about that. Listen, God has given us an opportunity to work in this country where people do not have 2 square meals a day to eat. God has given us an opportunity to make a difference in people's lives. Let's just grab that with both our hands whenever we can and however we can. Talking about corruption, earlier I was the head of the Tea Board of India, where also, of course I come from Himachal cadre, which is pretty clean. But even in the Tea Board, when I confronted corruption, and now when I see corruption in various walks of life, in politics and everywhere, and I feel, today I feel that I don't even have a problem with corruption. But I have a problem with the absolute shamelessness that has come up with corruption. Today you're not even having the shame, even if you're caught to be corrupt. Corruption has become such a part of our life, and we've taken it in so much in our stride that I don't understand in a country like India, where people are so pathetically and absolutely poor. How can we, when God has given us an opportunity, how many of us even deserve the opportunity? I keep asking this in the hundreds of meetings that I address. Any one of you who are above the age of 40 or above the age of 45, put up your hand if you even dreamt that you would get the salary you're getting today, the day you joined. You understand the question? Any of you who's above 45, put up your hand if you dreamt that you will get the salary you're getting today, the day you joined. Right. So God has been gracious towards us. When I was a probationer, I remember as a part of our probation as IAS officers, we go and stay for 2 weeks in some of the poorest villages in the country. My team was in Bihar. I wouldn't like to, the name of the tribe was Mushair tribe, so we stayed with them. And this tribe is called the Mushair tribe because my Hindi is not great. I think it's something to do with the rat. So these are the guys who people think they eat rats. They don't eat rats. What they do is they follow the rats into the holes where the rats take the grains and they keep inside. They follow it and then they dig the holes and they eat the rice. So when we were talking with them, living with them, asking them, what is your ambition in life? What is it that you want for your children? What is your dream for tomorrow? He says, sir, our dream is our children should learn how to go to sleep hungry. So what do? How do you make them sleep? We boil the mango seed, so that that's a poison that moves off. And after that, there is something like a gruel that comes up. And that gruel has 0 nutritious value. It just tries to fill your stomach. So we just give it to them. If we don't even get these mango seeds, then we give them charas, ganja, na? Just keep it in your mouth, and the kids become drowsy and they go to sleep. If we get neither the mango seed nor the ganja, then we beat them to sleep. We hit them so that in pain they go to sleep. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the level of the way the poor lives in this country. And what do? Oh, bigger houses, bigger cars, bigger jobs. That fellow is better than me. That fellow is doing this, looking at each other, backbiting, talking, jealousy, rivalry. What are we doing? One of my teachers, one of the greatest IAS officers, he used to say, Nazeem, we should learn to run a different race. I'm very glad that my own batchmates all over the country making unbelievable changes, including right here in Tamil Nadu. What I'm trying to say is, we should learn to run a different race. It's just getting confused. We think money gives you. Money gives you happiness. Who told you money gives you happiness? I myself, in my first attempt, I didn't get into the IAS. I got into one of the other services. Not nice to name it. So let's keep it like that. So, but I was posted in one of the ports where, the amount of corruption, unbelievable. I left it, took the exam again, got into the IAS. But the point is, all these guys who thought they're making money, today what they are, 20 odd years down the line, what happened to them, what's happening to their families, how are their children? I mean, why are we getting confused between, if you think money will give you happiness, I'm so sorry, it doesn't. I know it, because being in the position that God has been kind enough to give. He'll go and see from the topmost guys. I was collector of Kullu Manali, where the Prime Minister of this country, ex-Prime Minister Mr. Vajpayee, I've looked after him 4 times, to the poorest guys that we've seen. Everyone after money. The problem is we think that happiness can be bought with money. Okay, you can have fun. With money, you can have fun. But if you think that fun's happiness, then the world's happiest guys should be the world's greatest Hollywood stars and Bollywood stars, the greatest sportsmen. They are the guys who are the most restless, highest amount of suicidal tendencies. Most of them can never go to sleep without antidepressants and without sleeping tablets. I read somewhere beautifully that the best Hollywood actresses, they will never want to have a kid, because having a kid, what? Is it fun? Is having a kid fun? No, it is what? Hard work. You have to be awake day after day after day, changing its diapers. So these Hollywood girls, these Hollywood actresses, they would never ever want to have a kid, because there's no partying, no going around, no having fun. But my dear friends, the women over here, the day you don't sleep the whole night looking after your kids, I'm talking about all my women of my age who dance so beautifully here, but when you had the child and when you didn't sleep the whole night, and when you picked up the child in the morning, absolutely tired and your eyes closing, and the child smiles at you, and when you kiss that child, my dear friends, that is happiness, which no amount of money will give you. Do not get confused between happiness and fun. Let's run a different race, yeah? I got into the IAS in the year 1995. From that day to today, 23 years, 4 lakh farmers have committed suicide in this country. Does anyone know? Does anyone bother? I was just telling Mr. Mahendra that my own FCI, 4,000 trains, because I look after South India, 4,000 trains come in a year, 120 lakh tons, thousands and thousands. From where? From farmers. How many of us even bother? Forget you, me, who are in the food industry. 4 lakh farmers have killed themselves trying to feed you and me. Does anyone care? Does anyone bother? Has anyone ever bothered? Does it even come in the papers? Hey, what are we doing? Where are we taking our country? Where is morality? No one even talks about all this. The same week when starvation death was happening, I remember we had the Lakme Fashion Week. 250 reporters covered the Lakme Fashion Week in Bombay. Nobody bothered for these people who killed themselves with pesticides. Although being in the tea boat, being around the world, I have not seen any other country with absolute disparity and absolute comfort with the disparity. Do we ever even think we live in big bungalows, whatever? Opposite to us, the greatest of the slums, nothing, absolutely no basic facility. How many of us even think? Earlier, we used to at least talk. Then we stopped talking. Then we used to see. No, we don't even want to see them. Oh, ganda hai. ये क्यों यहाँ ये लोग रह रहे हैं? As if they are very happy to be poor and desperate and destitute and dirty. Today, neither do you want to look at them, nor do you want to see them, nor do you want to think about them. Oh, you know what? This reservation is not right. That girl living in the slum, in front of your house, in front of your bungalow, to whom you don't even look at, gets abused day after day by her drunken father. She wakes up at 5 o'clock in the morning trying to look after her sick mom, has not even a place, that small girl, to relieve herself properly. And she walks, she eats nothing, walks to the school because she cannot afford to pay her bus charge, doesn't even have slippers, and she struggles and she studies. And somehow she tries to get into something. Oh no, everybody is equal. There should be no reservation. We shouldn't care. What are we driving this country to? What is the future of this country? Let us teach our children compassion, honesty, truthfulness. I know old-fashioned words doesn't mean anything. Today, what do we teach most of our children? कुछ भी कर दो, करना है. Shortcut कितना भी है, ये लेना है, ये करना है. Let us try to change the discourse in this country. Let us all. God has given us a chance. When we were district collectors and when the Tahsildar or whoever misbehaves with the public, I'll tell them, it would have taken half a second. Had God willed otherwise, he would have been your Tahsildar and you would have stood in front of him, penniless and destitute, crying. We've hundreds of thousands, lakhs of people take the civil service exam. I can't dream for a minute to think that I'm among the top 100 or 80 that I would have got to. Somewhere God's grace was there. Had God willed otherwise, that would have never happened. Let's work hard. Yesterday I spoke, whoever was here. We have to fight it out. We have to work hard. Each one of us, I'm sure, God has blessed us with something inside us to have given us a chance to make a difference in people's life. I tell everyone, the day you retire, somebody should feel that he made a difference in my life. If no one feels that, whether we are in FCI or government or wherever, whichever PSU, if no one feels that you made no difference, what is the point? I read somewhere beautifully. If you are beautiful, that's because God loves you. But if you make your life beautiful, that means you love God. That means you love God. Love our Creator who has given us a chance. To each one of us, I know it's not easy. I can speak because I'm in a position where it's far easier for me to make a difference in people's life. But I'm sure each one of you, whether you are clerks, your assistants, your managers, at your own level, you can touch the lives of people. Yesterday I told you, of course there will be problems, there will be worries. That you read beautifully. Do you have a problem? No. Then why worry? Do you have a problem? Yes. Can you do something about it? Yes. Then why worry? Do it. Do you have a problem? Yes. Can you do something about it? No. Then why worry? You can't do anything about it anyway. Stop worrying. Remember that God has made you as an instrument to make a difference in people's life. They will hit you, as I told you yesterday. You will fall down. Get up. There will be rivals. There will be backbiters. There will be enemies. People will fight. There is too much of jealousy and rivalry in this country, in this world, among human beings. Fight back. You know you have a glow in you. I know that each one of us can make a difference. Let's fight back. The more we get hit, the more we fall down, the faster we get up, and the faster we run. We are here to make a difference in people's life. Ladies and gentlemen, happy that you listened to me. Happy that all of you are here. May the best team win. But for me, each one of us, especially people of my age, are the winners. Thank you.